Hi guys, thanks for joining us. So this is one of the most awaited sessions in which Dara basically and we will be doing a live tarot session for Sushant. Of course, he I don't want to say was because souls are still alive. So he is still a heartthrob. People still love him, and it's one of those things where just introducing you to Dara, she doesn't know anything about Sushant. So, because she's from LA, so she's one of those people who just don't know him as a celebrity, but she probably, because of we've been talking in regards to connecting with him, has experienced some sort of presence. So she knows him on a soul level. She doesn't know him as such. She doesn't know anything about his life history apart from like a couple of things I've told her. What we intend to do in this session is just try and see whether he wants to communicate with us. Now, I just want to say that this is basically our session because we want closure as, souls connected with him in some way or the other. But it's like, it's nothing to basically do with anything legal or create any controversy. So that's not our intention, so that's what we want to do. So yeah, so I can see Dara online, so she will be joining us in a minute. So I'm just basically and she should be there. I can see that a lot of you are already putting comments. So yes, I also really hope that we get the answers, or at least we get some closure, or even if we connect with him, he gets closure. But it's not necessarily we will definitely connect. We'll have to see how it goes because we don't want to bluff about things. It's all scientific. So yeah. And hey, Dara is here. Hey Dara, how are you?
Oh, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Welcome.
Morning. Good
So
morning for me, but good evening for you.
yes, it's good evening for us, and I think it's almost night in India. So it's basically great to connect with you. So yeah, so basically about Sushant, just saying that he, belonging to a small town in India, basically coming from a really humble background, was such an intelligent guy that he scored immensely in engineering exams, which are really, really tough in India to even pass. Many people just fail. Um, but for him, I think it was all about hard work, determination, and also law of attraction. I think he really believed in the energies. He believed in the universe. He wanted to know more about planets. He believed in quantum, which the aura power and all our experts really believe in. And I think from that soul level, we connect with him. And it was such a shocker. So honestly, being very honest to everyone, I haven't been a fan of him per se, but it's like I really liked his work. It's like he did make a mark when I looked at some of his movies, but it's not that, at the back of my mind, I was thinking about the guy that, but now when he's not there, I still feel the vacuum that, oh my God, this soul who came here could have done so much just generally for and been an example, which he has been. So, so it's great to actually. So, thank you, firstly, Dara, for agreeing to do this tarot session. So, for everyone, Dara can actually connect. Um, Not always, but most of the times, she does feel the energy and she connects. Um, and it's not about disturbing anyone's soul because like if they don't want to connect, then they won't. Because our approach is that if you want to talk to us, we are here. If you don't want to talk to us, you don't have to. Then we can just basically just do a general tarot session. So we'll see whether the energy comes through or not, and we'll see how this goes. So yeah. So Dara, do you wanna like start off?
Um,
Do you wanna introduce yourself or say something to everyone? Okay, I think
so
I've done that.
I thank you all so much for joining us this morning. I am grateful and honored to be able to be a conduit. So as Priyanka was saying, it's basically that we want to allow space if he wishes to come through and provide a message.
Yes, that's right.
So the focus that I'm going to be asking is his soul at rest? Is he at peace? Because above all, he is a very remarkable soul. Regardless if he was an actor
Yes,
or whoever he was, whatever he did, his beautiful soul shined bright and he had a
that's
purpose.
right.
And he wanted to share some kind of art, some kind of message with humanity. And for that, I honor his beautiful soul. And I
Yeah,
want to give any kind of condolences to any friends and family that are going through extreme pain because of his loss.
yes,
First and foremost, losing someone that you love so much can be very painful, and I understand that. So we're gonna figure out and
yes,
ask him if his soul's at peace, so we can give his friends and family that peace that they need, that his soul needs.
definitely.
Okay, and then ask if he has any messages that he wants to
Wants
share
to
with
give. Yes, that's right. Okay.
I'm just
Thank you,
looking
Dara.
into
Sure. So let's start the session. We will be taking questions from you guys as our lovely audience. But yeah, it's like after this, we will be doing that. So first we'll have that will be the format. We'll have basically the tarot, and let's see what comes through. Um, so yeah. So I think some cards did fall out, which means that these are the cards he wants us to pick.
So we have two extremely strong cards.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right now, um, what he wants everyone to know, and he is coming through. He is present.
Oh, that's
Um,
great. That's really a relief that, he wants to talk to us.
he does. And basically, one of the most important things is that he wants everyone, because we need to be in a time of forgiveness right now, and above anything, he wants first and foremost there to be um, forgiveness. He is content.
Oh my God, that's so good to know. That would give closure to so many people.
He had a very happy life. He
Yes,
had
very
he had
short, but
he had a very but he had a very happy life. He
yeah,
was
I'm sure.
happy. He had peace, and he had abundance, and he
Yeah,
had
definitely.
successful completion of a life well lived. So he was
Mm-hmm.
very passionate, and he was very happy with what he was able to achieve here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he did have a lot of self discipline. He had a lot of
Sure,
willpower. He had a lot of public recognition.
definitely.
Um, and he um, basically had a lot of strength. And he really wants us to all empower that strength and forgive,
Right,
heal from the situation that, that his departure may have left a hole in your heart.
definitely.
And you have to learn what you can from his situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so these cards are letting us know that right now he is he is at peace. So to his
Okay.
friends and his family that love him and want to know,
Mm.
is his soul at peace? His soul is at peace, because he has forgiveness. He was
Right.
an enlightened soul, and he understands that people do only what they can with the consciousness that they have at this moment.
Right. Sure. I think
Uh,
I have a feeling that these messages are for his family because I think it's his family who actually really must be feeling that and probably needs that forgive because if they are not able to forgive,
and that was our first question, and they all came out at once, and they all
yes.
had, and I felt energy from all of them at once, and
Mm,
so that is definitely a message for his family and anyone
yeah.
that knew him that is mourning the loss of
Yeah.
his physical being here on earth. His soul is still around, so talk
Mm,
to him. Like, he wants to love you, and he wants to let you know, like, he's okay. So above all, like, please be okay. He doesn't want
yeah.
you to feel, he doesn't want you to not live your best life because his best life was cut short, way too short. But
Way too
at
short.
least he was grateful for what he was able to do. And so that's
True.
a beautiful thing, that he's not like angry and upset and
Yeah.
has regrets. He's like, he's conscious. And so he's like, it's about forgiveness, and it's about learning from the situation and
Mm,
having strength at this time
yeah.
and growing. So completely agree to his family. We are
Sure.
so sorry for your
I
loss.
think I think he didn't believe in one God. For him, it was the quantum physics, and he believed in the universe. So I feel that from that perspective, if he's sending this message, then also it's somewhere for his fans. Because Dara, I didn't tell you because obviously we didn't communicate that much before the session, and deliberately as well, because I wanted this to come naturally, so that you don't know him that much. So I think what happened after his death was one of his aunts also, she wasn't eating, and 2 days after his death, she passed away out of that, mourning itself. Then there have been fans, so they have been for emulating him. So there have been basically a couple of incidents where people actually committed suicide after knowing that he has done that. And one thing is that we don't even know whether it was a suicide or what exactly happened. It's gonna be a mystery, whatever happens, because like within my
Please,
family,
please do not, please do not,
yeah,
please do not, please do not. That would be the worst way to honor his
yeah,
beautiful message. And so he does not want anyone to give their life
that's
to
true.
to to copy him, to emulate him, because that is not what the situation was.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
so please do not. And if you want to copy him, copy his life, copy his passion for living, copy his drive for
Yeah,
for achieving his dreams, having
And
that,
perfection. And
for
perfection. He was a
perfection,
perfectionist.
for his knowledge, for his
Hmm.
consciousness to quantum physics. I also study quantum physics, and it's amazing because
It is.
yes,
Me
I
too.
have certain gifts as a healer, but
Yeah.
the rest of the world doesn't always understand that. So I knew I had
Yeah.
to learn typically what was this, because people
Yes.
need sometimes the science to go with it, and
Yeah.
use your mind to explore different possibilities and learn all religions. I've studied every single religion in the world,
Yes.
and the reason why is because what unites us is love, and that's the core
True.
of all the religions. Religions are
So
just
true.
a way for that in the time of the age of Pisces, that deities were allowed to bring us messages of transcendence. So that's why we have all
Right.
these amazing gods and and messiahs and prophets. But now we're in the age of Aquarius. So now we're in the age of
Okay.
self-actualization and enlightenment. And so
Right.
it's time for us to all wake up and to understand that we are the light and we can connect. Each one of you can connect. And
And that's
so
great to know too, actually, that, the
we
difference
can
in
all work
Pisces and
on
Aquarius.
opening our third eye, opening our chakras, and being that vessel to receive messages, because with that understanding we can see things from a universal perspective, and when we start to see things from a universal perspective, we break down the barriers that separate us as humanity, and we can come together as a peaceful people and realize we're all just souls. We're all just souls
Yeah,
trying
we
to
are.
live our most amazing purpose, and just use his life
True.
for your example of how to live your best
True.
life.
Exactly. And I think he was such a perfectionist. He had basically, had that discipline that had built an amazing body. And his body of work, if you look at it, the growth is an example, and that's something to emulate rather than anything else. Because whenever felt he stopped growing, he used to change and he used to like make tough decisions. So even that courage, that's another thing. So yeah. So
Yes,
definitely do not
this,
do just emulate the positive. So what cards were they actually, Dara? You gonna say?
so five of air,
All right.
which
Mm-hmm.
is going to really be learning from the situation, strength,
Right.
having
Oh
strength,
wow, strength.
body
Imagine.
into
That's
strength,
that's great. That's so positive. Yeah.
the chariot,
Wow.
which of course is very powerful because it's talking about a very important achievement that he feels like his life was an achievement, and he wants everyone
Definitely.
to focus on the achievements of his life and follow his achievements,
Right.
not this.
Yes, definitely.
This is not what he wants to be remembered by.
True.
And then of course saying the four of fire, which of course is letting his family know that he is
Right.
at peace and he is content. So to his
Right.
family especially, like, he's okay, and so he wants you to be okay. He wants everyone to be okay. So
Yeah.
please, to everybody, take a breath and breathe
Yes.
and light a candle or a lamp. I believe you call light your lamp.
Well, we light anything in
Or
our country. We are
light
so
a
diverse.
candle and meditate and pray to him. Pray to him, ask for him to come through, and then meditate. Because when we pray, we're talking to them, and when we meditate, we're opening ourselves to receive message from
True.
spirit.
Yes, and just message to the audience that, I got like not many, most messages I got from everyone when we were doing this was positive. That it's great that we're trying to give closure to maybe him and all everybody else. But there were a couple of messages which were not that positive, and it's always the case that, their opinion was, why are you doing this? You're disturbing. No, we're not disturbing. He doesn't have to connect,
He doesn't
but
have to
we're
come through
there.
if he doesn't wish to.
Yeah,
We're just allowing him the
to communicate.
opportunity to speak if he wishes, and
That's
that's
right.
why at the beginning when she introduced me, and even when she asked me to do this, I was a little apprehensive because I said spirit only comes through if they want to, and this is live and it's like kind of like a personal thing. But I mean, if she really felt that he he really needed to come through possibly, and there were
Yes.
people who needed to hear this message. I said, well, of course, if it's for the better good of humanity and for his soul, of course I'll allow myself to be a conduit. But at the same time, I let her know it's really up to him. If he wants to come through, he's going to. If not, we're
Yeah.
just going to do a tarot reading. And
Yeah.
the guy will tell us some things anyways. But
Definitely.
I will let you know that he has chosen to come through, and he is
That's
coming
great.
through quite strong.
Yes.
So obviously he has he wants to let people know things that aren't able to hear as clearly as I am. So the
Great.
more you are able to connect, he can just talk to you directly. But for now, some people they don't have that open communication yet. So I'm donating my body for him to be able to channel message. So I do understand your concern. Please understand that I would never impose on a soul to force them to do anything. And let me
Of
also
course.
let you know, souls don't do anything they don't
I
want to do.
know. So
It's not
true.
like, yeah, they're like, so it's not like that. So like if they don't want to come through, they're not going to come through. It's just what it is. And
Definitely.
there's no hard feelings about it, because obviously like, and the thing is a lot of times they want to come through because they have loved ones that are in so much pain
Yes.
that they don't want people to be in that pain, especially over the passing of their body, because they understand that they're an eternal soul and their body was only temporary anyways, and they don't want people to be dying
Yeah,
or
exactly.
like that's the worst thing in the world is people are getting
True.
alive for no, that's the last thing he wants in the world. So he just wants everyone
Definitely.
to know that
He's
please,
okay.
it's okay. He's okay.
It's okay.
He's at peace and he's content, and he wants everyone else to be at peace and be content and to folk and celebrate his life. Let's celebrate him. Let's
Yes.
celebrate
Celebrate
how
his life. That's beautiful. Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I think another thing I would like to say is that at some point we become that like that our fans become our family as well, because where we are, it's because of the love of the people. And I strongly feel that he felt the same way, and that is why, of course, this messages are for his family, but also for the rest of everybody who has felt a loss. And that's why we're doing this, so that we can give that closure to everybody, at least try to. So yeah. So Dara, like, shall we ask some other questions um about what was it like happening in his life? Like, was it his life? Did it end?
Let's see what let's see what else comes through if he
Sure.
wants to if he
If
wants
he
to
wants to communicate.
shed
So,
some light on his final hours.
so I think one question that everyone wants to know is, did he actually want to leave, or was it something that forced him to leave? Because that's something very important for so many people to know. Now, that force can be physical force, but that force can be mental force again. So we don't get the answer to that. But was it that he just had, because in positive way, sometimes souls say, I've achieved, I've been there, done that. I want to go to a different planet, different world. And it's like, that can be, looking at it positively, and he just left. But the second thing is that it was so much of pressure, whether it was physical assault or something which nobody wants to happen, or was it mental pressure? What was it? What was happening? So, it's a tough question, guys. I feel my connection's going in and out, so I've tried to just back it up. But that just shows that energies, they react when you ask such questions. So I just feel it's that sort of a reaction. It can't just be a coincidence that suddenly we start losing connection. So that just definitely means that he's coming through. Um, one reason I did, just between us, is that I some on YouTube saw some weird videos. Oh, I'm doing this tarot card reading, I'm doing this. And then I'm like, let's just do it actually. Let's bring it on. Because obviously I'm connected to some really good energy healers and energy workers and light workers like Dara, that it's one of those things where it's so important to get the facts out there rather than have some fake people just saying, hey, this is what happened. Okay, I'm going, talking to him. It doesn't work like that. So all this is very scientific, and I'm just so pleased to know that he is at peace, because that's the main question. Peace is so important. So, but another thing is we've had some amazing response from all of you. Like, you have been so positively encouraging. Because honestly, I'm not a psychic myself. I can be a coach, but not a psychic. Um, but people like Dara and some of the other experts we have, they basically at their different levels work with energies. And so, because Dara didn't know him at all, it was the best thing to do was just basically get her involved, and thankfully she agreed. So,
Um,
what?
so there, so even when you started asking, I got an incredible amount of anxiety. I
Yes,
am kind of having a lot of anxiety right now.
I can feel it myself, Dara.
According to this, he did suffer from some emotional issues,
Right,
and he had a lot of work that
right,
was life was a little bit out of balance.
right,
He had a lot of stress related health concerns.
right. Actually, I didn't tell you that, but he was everyone's what we are hearing is that he was in depression. He was taking medicines. He was taking treatment. So I
I
did
mean,
not tell that to Dara. She's just reading it.
I know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
Um, I mean, it's telling me to go with my gut. I mean, I don't. I'm like I said, I'm not going to rule this because it's. I'm not a judge and a jury, but
Yes,
I will say that I'm just going to say that he did have some issues, and he doesn't want his death to be the focus of his life. So please don't, because that is
right,
not what his life is about. He, but he look at things through different perspectives.
right.
Don't do what he did. That's
Of
not the
course,
answer.
definitely not.
Get help if you need help. Um, have patience with yourself. Um, but
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry to know that. I'm sorry in every way, actually. It's like we, as people who loved him, we're losing.
but he's okay now. So I'm glad we asked that question first, so
Yes,
that we all know that now he's okay.
right. That's good.
Even though he was going through problems on Earth and he had a lot of anxiety and he was overwhelmed, I'll be very honest. I don't think. I think it was conflicting. It's not like he wanted to. I think it was just like he got overwhelmed in the moment.
It was more mental pressure.
And it takes only one moment to
It
get
just
super
takes a
overwhelmed.
moment.
So if you have loved ones that are suffering from any kind of depression, just be there for them, especially now during the time of COVID and everyone feels very
Yes,
alone. Like, please
yes.
reach out to people that you love and that
And
you care about, that especially if you know that they're suffering at all. Like, it's
yeah,
time for us to just
stick
be
with
family
them.
and unity and come together and stop the hate and just start loving each other, because people, you never know what people are going through. You don't
True,
know what people
so
are going
true.
through. And the
So
more we
true.
connect with our spiritual self, the more we understand we're all family and we all have to just be there for each other.
And I would say that if you have any mental issues or if you're feeling anxiety, please, please just drop us a text. You
Yeah,
can choose any of our experts to have a session, and you will feel a lot of stress relief because no one's recognized it till now. But when you do these sessions, whether it's tarot session, meditation sessions, or whether it's just like talking about how you feel in your gut, it just gives you so much positivity and positive energy that it's difficult for me to put that in words, and I think I've survived on it basically. Thinking about, okay, tomorrow I don't have to pay any bills and blah blah blah, it's amazing, but honestly, no, it's like this life is so beautiful, there's so much to achieve. So yeah, if you are
you
stressed, if you're
have purpose. Every single blade of grass is here for a purpose.
true.
And he had a purpose and he fulfilled a lot of it. And I wish I would have met him a month ago. But
Yes.
if you are struggling, please reach out because you have a purpose,
Mm, yes.
and it's gonna be okay.
Yes, and
And
you can
we're gonna get
actually,
through it together. We're gonna get through it together. That's what it is. We have to get through it.
yes. And I think lockdown doesn't help. Actually, this is the toughest time we have as humanity gone through in these times. So definitely. But yeah, even Dara is there. If you want to book her, catch up with her, then do that on the aurapower.com, and whether it's me as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. The aurapower.com is like such a remarkable platform that she's created so that we can be accessible to everybody.
Yes.
Because like I'm living in Los Angeles right now, and unfortunately I would never get the chance to meet most of you if it weren't for this amazing platform. But I also know that India is top on my next list. So we've actually
Yes.
talked about it, and I'm hoping and praying that next year that we're going to be able to meet in India.
Yes,
So
and London, and I'm in London.
finally
So
happen. I literally tried to go to India like 3 times so far. So
wow, that's
that's it.
great. So we will take a very good care of you, Dara, when you go there. So yeah, trust us for that. But saying that, we are
But
covering
yeah,
all,
with me before that on the
yes,
aurapower.com anytime.
definitely. Yeah, please, please book an appointment with her if you feel any anxiety, or even if you just want to get your reading
If
done.
you want to know
So
your purpose, if you are just struggling with anything, I do Reiki as well. I'm a Reiki master, so I can send energy healing. I do chakra cleansing and balancing. I do cord cutting. I do a lot of things. I've actually, I'm from New York. I was doing extremely successful as a photographer and makeup artist in New York,
mm,
and I had this calling. I was born different, and through different life experiences, I had awakenings, and I don't have to go through all that right now.
wow,
But
that's
basically, I
amazing.
started studying holistic healing in profoundly in my early 20s, and through my career, I just kept developing this side business, and eventually this was my calling, and so I gave up a six-figure income with amazing clientele, working for amazing fashion
Sure,
houses and studios, to backpack and travel the world and study with indigenous healers in South America and South Asia. And so I studied with monks, and I studied with shaman, and I studied with natural energy healers, plant medicine, just understanding. You can't see right now, but I'm literally surrounded by like all of my crystals right now. So I study crystal energy. So if you have any questions about any of these types of things, on how foods, on how anything can improve your life to live your best life, because as you all know, your chakras control your entire system, your entire world, your thoughts, your energy controls and
that's
attracts
right.
and manifests your world. So if you feel like you're off track and you want to get back on track, we can definitely help you. But there's also
Definitely.
many other healers on the aurapower.com. So although I would love to connect with you, just check everybody out because there's
Sure.
amazing, wonderful souls ready to be of service to you, because that's what we really are. We're service to humanity, to be able to help heal humanity and help you connect and help you get the messages and the support and the guidance that you need.
That is so true. Thank you for that, Dara. Yeah, definitely. So I think another thing is like we are in three different time zones. So we have people connected from India. I am in London and Dara is in LA. So we are in such a small world these days. And so it's so easy to connect, but we just have to reach out. So reach out, you know. So yeah. Shall we ask one more question for Sushant, and then we can take audience questions as well? So, guys, if you have questions, then start thinking about it because we'll come back to you in a few minutes. Um, so, is there anything in your mind, Dara, you want to kind of highlight and ask, or should I? Because I have one question in my mind and I can give you that.
Please feel free.
Okay, one thing I have in mind is that, we're getting this conflicting messages from his friends and everybody that his stress, because now we determined it's stress. Was it because some people say it was because of a woman, whereas there are other people who say it was because of work and he was not getting enough work and he had trouble financially, which I don't believe. But it was like that people were stopping him to do what he wanted to because, a lot of movies were taken away from him, a lot of work was taken away. So what was it? Was it the woman? Was it a combination of everything? What exactly was happening?
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's another, what was the key main reason? Because, yeah,
I definitely, I mean, I think in general, I will just say when life is out of balance,
right,
it can be like I will say something this
right,
grant is not just one single thing, but I will
right.
ask if he would like to share and get some clarity on whether or not the overwhelming was because of work or was because of love.
Okay. That would help many people actually out there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check out questions if you guys have put any in here. If not, then please feel free to, you know. So I am reading through it. So Selena has said, can we find out if he has committed suicide? So I think Selena, we asked that question, not in a very direct way because we don't want to get into that directness, that much of a direct. But yeah, I think we kind of got the answer to that. Can we find out what actually happened on foot? That's exactly what Dara is trying to find out right now. So, of course, we can't get the incidents in the way they happened because no one's ever going to know. But we can get some messages through from them. Um, what happened in the last 5 minutes of Sushant? Let's see what Dara has to say. And that's one reason I asked this question. What was it? Then we have, was he murdered? Well, as I said, whether it's physical or whether it's emotional, what was it? So I think his life was not in balance. That's what we have been told. And that's a message that's coming through. As everyone knows, Sushant can't do suicide. Yeah, I think it was the message that's coming through is that it was that one weak moment that basically it just takes one moment. So that's, but yeah, it seems so difficult to believe. And that is why we say sometimes we don't get messages of people who are with us and who are under so much stress that they can do this because they look so positive. But I feel that the way the investigation is happening, I think everybody's sympathy's concern is with him. So I'm sure that they will find out in the end exactly. But we are here to kind of get those messages through. You ready, Laura? I was reading some messages.
Um, this is really hard though for him to answer.
Right.
Um, because like he doesn't want his answer to like bring any anger
Right. Okay. Of
or
course, because
you understand what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want it to
right,
like
because then the
like
responsibility will go with those
retaliation.
people.
Exactly. Because first and foremost, like he said, it was like he had some things that he was dealing with. He was
Right.
he had some chemical imbalances,
Right.
and he was not and life was out of balance, and he needed some help, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get the help that he needed, and it only takes one moment, and that one moment is it's bummer because he wishes he wish couldn't, but you know what, it's a lesson, and
Right.
he's peaceful with it, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna just like be in my soul and just learn and just keep learning and keep growing, because that's all I can do is just like learn and grow, and we all have to just learn and grow.
True.
um, um,
Right.
According to this, there was a relationship
Okay.
that
There was.
that was because the lovers card came up,
Right. Okay.
um, and the two of waters and the seven of earth. Um, so there was a pause in action with work. So I honestly think it was kind of a combo, because the first card is like he had seeds well planted, but there was a temporary pause in action and stuff.
Right.
And so what the universe was really saying is it was unnecessary worry, but he had a lot of worry,
Mm.
but it was unnecessary because it would have been okay, but he allowed the worry for the pause in work to overwhelm him.
Right.
But then he also should have carefully weighed his decisions more, because there was an intimate relationship that it actually is saying was in better health than he perceived it to be. So he really
Right.
like he wishes he would have like looked at things differently. Like
Okay. Got it. Uh-huh.
because now he can see things from different perspective.
Right. I think I'll tell you what happens. I think we all want to be very, very, very fit. And what happens in that is that we actually start
And right
having
here, coming
things
forgiveness is coming up again though. Just so you know, the
right.
third card, forgiveness.
It's forgiveness, yes.
So
That's amazing.
like
Yeah, I'm lost
seriously,
of words. Like he really
like he
wants
left it,
everybody to
like
forgive.
he really he's just saying like it, you can't pinprint it and put it on one person or one thing, because it's never just that, it's a moment of life is overwhelming and everything becomes
Mm.
overwhelming, and his perspective was overwhelming, and it wasn't completely all accurate now that he
Yeah,
has a different perspective to
yeah,
understand things from.
yeah. So Dara, the forgiveness card, can it be because of the remorse he's having, do you think? Because I think we
I,
briefly
I,
discussed it.
I think I think it's saying, first of all, he needs everyone to have forgiveness
Right,
for to him. Please forgive
right,
me. Please forgive
right.
me.
For leaving like
Please
this, yeah,
forgive
definitely.
everybody else, because he doesn't want anyone to put blame on anybody.
Right,
And he wants, if anything, a message to be, if you are struggling, please get help at this time. Like, if
right.
anything has to come out of that, like, he wants to have it be more that. But even more so than that, he's really just hoping that his body of work and his drive and his strength and his courage to go after his dream will be what you remember about him. And I think also that he forgives himself because he's growing as a soul body, and he has
Right,
to forgive himself to be able to truly move on as a soul and to grow and to not be stuck in the muck and to get in that
Of course,
tar that can then,
definitely.
of course, taint his soul for karmic lives to come. So
Yes,
this is the time of enlightenment. He's doing the work and he's learning to forgive himself, and that's one of the reasons he's like coming through today is because like he's like I'm like I have so much anxiety right now. He still has a lot of anxiety. Like he's very nervous about coming through because he knows like his message, but he's like I have to just like
just
let
give
people
it to
know.
everybody.
Please do whatever it is. Like do not copy me. Like please, if you need help, please reach out.
Yeah,
Like we all have a purpose.
yeah. And I think
So
what I was saying, mm, what
and
I was
try to
saying about,
get out of your own perspective. Get out of your own perspective. Get out of your own perspective. Your perspective is created by your life reality. So everything that's ever happened to you is why you believe what you believe. But in 1 second, it can change. You can think your father is the most amazing man in the world. No man can ever live up to your father. And then your father could cheat on your mother, and all of a sudden he's the scum of the earth, and you hate him. Do you see how perspective can change in one
yeah,
second? So
definitely, definitely.
understand that your perspective is your perspective in this moment, and it can change. And take a breath before you do anything or say anything rational, because
Yes, I agree.
perspective is what keeps you in the tar. And if you just meditate and look at things from a spiritual perspective, imagine you're a angel looking down on earth. Imagine you're the soul looking down on earth. And what perspective would you have then? And breathe, just
Right.
breathe with nature, hug a tree, hug the earth, pet an animal. Like just breathe. Please just breathe.
I think what you just said actually is written in our Vedas also. And it's said basically that look at yourself as a third person. And when you assess yourself as a third person, then you take decisions, then your decisions are usually right. And that's like the crux of a lot of things. So, yeah. And I think that's an amazing, beautiful thing you just said, Dara. So, yeah, thanks for that. And I think going back to the chemical imbalance, especially, I want to touch on that. What happens is that when we are being so healthy, you know, we are eating things which basically, can actually following specific diets can also, do that, and we physically get that imbalance. So we look great, but we don't feel great. And obviously, other things add to it, like the lockdowns added to so much anxiety, plus work issues, plus so many other people jealous of you, which probably, was the case with them, and that sort of thing, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. And of course, relationships. So, everything kind of, I have a feeling that everything kind of got together and got to him. So, yeah. Shall we take are you ready for audience questions? Shall we take some questions? Because I think we have a few minutes left only.
Yes, let me just thank him. Give me just a minute.
Yes, yes,
Close out
yes.
with him, and then we'll open up to you and just.
Okay, sure. That's perfect way to do it. So I'm just answering some of your questions, guys. Dara is an amazing channel. Yes, she is. She can connect with you even if you're from the distance. As you can see, that we're in 3 different time zones. So please reach out to me if you want to do that. Then I think Nimit, you just said you connected and did a session and it's not a murder. So thanks for confirming. I think Nimit is also part of our, the aura power as well. So he does Reiki healing and that sort of thing. So, but I know. So you ready? Shall we take questions? So guys, yes, okay, guys, if you have questions, please, now is the time to ask those questions. Okay, so I'm going, and Rachna is asking, Dara, we need This and most of us, we are restless. Was he murdered? So I think we got the answer. Rohit, Shilpi, Abhinav, I can see all of you joined. Nimi's joined. So Sonam has asked who's responsible for his death. I think we can't really. Can we answer that? Who's responsible for his death? I think we just had a full session on that, really, right?
I yeah, I mean, um, was it self-inflicted? Is that what she's asking, basically?
Yeah, yeah. So who particularly? We can't name a person. It was probably self-inflicted. Yeah, it was
I mean,
combination of things, as we just said.
he 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 left.
He left. Hmm.
He he was struggling and he
He
left.
was struggling. Yes. Then we have an interesting question. Can you pull love cards on me too? So this girl, TY the ticket, thank you the ticket, is asking. Of course we can pull out love cards. We'll have another session where we can actually do like reading for everybody, you know. So that would be interesting to do, isn't it? Heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he committed suicide due to. So Selena saying he committed suicide due to imbalances in his life, and now he's left his material body. He can see things clearly, of course. Yeah, it's a new perspective. Then can we feel his presence? Can we feel his presence, like anything moving or some signs? So Sanjida is asking that do things move when spirits come through? I think it's a very old notion that things start moving. It doesn't happen like that, does it, Dara?
Um, no, like what does it feel like when he comes through, or what do I
Yes,
see? Okay,
that's
so
the question
so
Sanjida is asking.
okay, so when I open space, for me, it's basically like the
Hmm.
ceiling opens
Right,
the to the universe. And for me,
right.
it almost looks like do you know what like the Parthenon looks like in Rome, where it's like
Hmm.
just like a stadium? For me, it kind of
Right,
looks like I'm in the bottom of the stadium and I'm looking up, and there's just
right.
circles, circles, and circles of benches. And I have certain spirit guides, like my spirit guides, that are with me literally 24/7.
Right.
I'm just gonna shout her out because she's amazing. She's been with me my entire life. She saved me several times from death because it wasn't my time to go. And I also call upon other spirit guides that I work with quite often. I would also like to give a shout out to Goddess Isis because she is divine and miraculous. To work with her, you definitely have to be uh, very um, basically you have to give her honor daily. You have to work with
Yeah,
her
sure.
consistently. She wants you to be consistent with her. She doesn't like fair weather. Like you can't just say, "Oh, please, Isis, help me today," and then never give her any other love because she ain't gonna feel it.
Right.
She's like, "I want you to love me every day," but she is one of the most miraculous
That's
healers I've ever
beautiful.
worked with. Um,
That's great.
and then of course I open up like um, Archangel Raphael and
Hmm.
Michael come through a lot.
Michael, Angel
I
Michael is so
also
good. Yeah.
have worked with Ganesh and Tara.
Yes,
I have worked with many different deities. Um,
that's great.
it's amazing how they come through. So like I'll open up, and then like if I'm working with someone specifically, of course like I'll call in my guides, and then I will call forth, open the floor for any of your spirit guides,
Hmm.
ancestors, souls, or anyone that has a message for you. Please feel free to come through at that time.
Sure.
And then certain people will come through. And it's interesting because some people will stay at the top in the Coliseum. And then sometimes, like, the soul will actually come down from the Coliseum and be more close to me where I am in, like, the dark area.
Wow.
And then there will be, like, a spotlight, though, that comes
Wow.
down and like shines on them, and it's almost like the gods are like, okay, we're sending that, like, because it's like, for example, right now that's what happened. Like he came down actually,
Wow.
and the gods shined a spotlight on him, and what they were like, because sometimes I'll ask like, I'm basically a conduit, so I give my body to
Right.
them So I'm like, Goddess Isis, please do a reading through me and give this person what they need to know, and they can speak through me. And sometimes I'll be honest, like sometimes I get tongue tied because if you have some kind of entity that might not be so on the up and up that you're dealing with, they will tie my tongue because they do not want me to give you that message. And I'll just let you know that does happen, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
Oh,
But anyway, so more so on this subject. So he was standing there, and there was like a beautiful spotlight on him because all
right.
these beautiful gods were like, it's his time, and he's going to do the reading, which
Sure.
means I'm allowing him to come into my body, which is why then I have been feeling so much anxiety
Wow.
because he had a lot of anxiety when he
But
passed.
thanks for doing that for us, Dara. That really helps, and that's going to give closure to
Once
so many
he goes
people.
out, I'll cleanse myself and I'll come because actually
Yes.
he's still here, by the way. I told
Yeah.
him he could part if he wanted, but he wanted to stick around and like be here for me.
And maybe for
So
these questions, yeah, that's great. I think
but
one
he
of
was
the important
so
questions, yeah, that's great. I think one of the important questions being asked is that I'm going through some very hard times. So Sumuk Toro. So he's saying I'm going through a very hard time and not able to find solutions. So Sumuk, if you are, then we're going to send you a special voucher. Book an appointment with Dara or any of our experts. Now you know Dara, so you can actually book an appointment with her, or myself, and then basically we will help you out. Um, yeah, and if you have any financial problems, just drop us a line and we will try and help you and maybe do sessions without any charges as well.
above
But
all, I'm a here.
yeah, definitely.
We're
So,
here. Like that's what this is. This is why we are here on Earth. Is really
mm,
honestly at this time, the age of Aquarius, this activation that we're going through right now, we're here to help support and awaken global consciousness. So use us
yes.
as your tools however you need,
Hmm.
and we will work with you however you need because that's our
Mm,
purpose.
that's right. I've got some basically a lot of gone through a lot of questions. I think one of the questions is so this is the last one I'm taking. I think the session might end, but if it
Okay.
does, then it's a goodbye. But I'm just taking this last question if we can answer it. So there are a lot of people saying boycott some of the Bollywood films, boycott some of the filmmakers, boycott, boycott, boycott. So shall we boycott them? Because they did give him a lot of mental pressure. A lot of people did not support him professionally. So all his fans feel like boycott these production houses. And there are a lot of them actually, like all the main ones, to be honest, because it was gangism.
Gotta understand that he is enlightened right now, so
Yeah,
he's on a different perspective and he's on a forgiveness tip right now. So
exactly.
he he's not gonna tell anyone to he doesn't want Bollywood to crash.
That's right.
Bollywood, I'll
Yes,
be honest,
definitely
I
not.
actually love Bollywood. Like Bollywood gives so
Hmm.
many people hopes and dreams, and I agree. There's a lot of corruption. I agree. There's a lot of corruption in the
There
world, and
is,
the
yeah,
corruption
there
needs
there
to be
is, and then people cut each other down.
exposed and needs to change. And so, does there
Hmm.
need to be changes? Of course, there needs to be changes. In which way you choose to do it is honestly, he can't speak for you. If you feel you want to boycott, like that has to be your choice. He's not going to try to start that.
That's
We
so
all have to
beautiful,
make
isn't
choices
it?
for ourselves. We all have to choose our voice and how we want to use our voice. Some people want to use their voice and they'll fight for peace. And look, I
Yeah.
don't judge anyone, but me, I'm a light
Hmm.
worker. And so the only way that I can create peace is to peace for peace. I can't
That's
fight for
right.
anything because if I'm fighting for something that creates um, unrest in my soul. And so if I want to create peace, I have to become peaceful. And so how
Hmm.
I create peace in the world is I become peace. And I meditate
That's
every single day. And
beautiful.
I speak light and love to everybody. And I give hugs and I give smiles and I give kisses and I just love people. And that's how
Okay, Dara, we just have 20
but if you
seconds more.
if you do boycott, that's your choice.
Yes, so we just have
But change does
10